Joining me now to talk about this and other things, Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty, who was in the hearing room today. Senator Hagerty, welcome back, sir. All right, so you heard Mr. Blinken, you heard Mr. Austin. I don't want to get into personalities. I don't doubt their patriotism, but I do not understand why they are so obsessed with this humanitarian aid pause and whether or not it's a ceasefire, because it is a ceasefire. Everybody knows it's a ceasefire. And furthermore, everybody knows humanitarian aid is going to go to Hamas. They will resupply themselves. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. You certainly schooled us today, I think, very well in terms of the lexicon here, Larry. Any ceasefire is a win for Hamas. I think that Secretary Blinken and Secretary Austin should know that. Certainly they should. The fact is, I think it was demonstrated today, I questioned Secretary Blinken 3 times directly if he could assure us that not a dime of U.S. dollars, not a dime of U.S. foreign aid assistance had gone to benefit Hamas in their October 7th attack against Israel. He could not answer the question. We've got to stop feeding this. You know, I went and met with the Israeli leadership in May of 2021. Prime Minister Netanyahu, his national security advisor, were very clear with me that every dollar of foreign aid that goes into the Gaza Strip is controlled by Hamas. They either tax it, they direct it, or they divert it. You've seen them even take pipes that were meant for the water supply and divert those into making them into rockets. I think we know what's going on here. Again, you nailed it. I think what they're doing is just checking the box and trying to appease the radical left, but they're doing it in a way that endangers Israeli civilians. They're doing it in a way that winds up putting U.S. funding both sides of this war. U.S. taxpayers wind up funding both sides of this war when the administration behaves in this manner.
Senator Hagerty, look, you yourself were a fine diplomat. You were our ambassador to Japan for several years. How long is a humanitarian pause versus how long is a ceasefire? Now, I know we're playing semantics here, but I just want to let these good folks in the Biden administration know that we see through this. Okay, this is politicking. They are politicking for the left. But the fact of the matter is, the difference between a ceasefire and a pause is a humanitarian pause an hour, a day, a week, a month? I mean, really? And what's wrong with Bibi Netanyahu's idea that Israel will supply the humanitarian aid to Palestinian civilians? What's wrong with that idea?
Larry, I've said all along that we should be stepping back, giving Israel the headroom and the support to do what it knows how to do, rather than trying to call the shots from the halls here in Washington. And again, what we're doing is allowing domestic politics to creep into it. That's shaping the response right here, as you aptly called out. You're exactly right. Let the Israelis decide how to handle this best on the ground. They know what the threat is. It's most proximate to them. But what we're talking about here, I think very clearly, is a huge danger to Israeli safety. And again, I don't want to see U.S. taxpayers on the hook funding both sides of this war.
That's you go. Both sides of this wall. Good point. Senator Hagerty, I don't want to get too into the weeds on the appropriation bills, but there's a big disagreement, obviously, between Speaker Johnson and Majority Leader Schumer, and I guess Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. How do you think this?
I heard the speaker earlier on the segment talk about how there's bipartisan support right now for Israel. The need for this is urgent. I agree with him. Let's just put it on the floor. They're going to vote on it in the House this week. Let's get it over here. Let's deal with it. Let's handle these things in order. I'm certainly in alignment with what the speaker is talking about doing. What the Biden administration sent over in terms of a supplemental is just full of everything, including the kitchen sink. This is very typical. You know the Washington play here, Larry. It's not going to work as it's structured right now. Let's focus on what will work. The Israel piece right now will pass.
Yeah, amen to that. You know, just the last point. I mean, I think we need a full-throated discussion of Ukraine. Exit strategies, diplomatic initiatives, peace strategies, and the like, okay? And I also think, by the way, the border security stuff in the Biden proposal it doesn't look like border security to me. It looks like open border enhancement to me. I mean, I'll give you the last word on this.
You're precisely right. No, on the border piece, it's not border security at all, Larry. It's more funds to process people more rapidly into our country. It's egregious. I mean, what they're talking about is actually funding the worst policy that we've ever seen, the greatest national security crisis that's happened in our nation. They want to just accelerate the process with additional funding. It's dead on arrival. This is not the right approach. We need to change the policy at the border. We need to go back to what worked in the Trump administration. You were deeply involved in that, and we're not there at all with what the Biden administration has proposed in this bill.
Good for you, Senator. And by the way, Senator McConnell has said that the border piece needs work. So there's that. I mean, he's aware of that, too.
That's an understatement. He knows.
Mr. Bill Hagerty, thank you. Great senator from the state of Tennessee.